Hello everyone, welcome back to the LCS Game Changers once again. I'm Camcom. Over there is the wonderful pastry time once again. We are back for the third Best of 2 series for today and the final Best of 2 series for these exhibition matches. Pastry time, what's going on here with the standings?
Yeah, it's getting a little close, shall we say, as we have the current standing. Astrocats solely in first. They will keep their seat and be the team awaiting the winner of the first best of 3 in LA in the grand finals, but it's getting close between the others here. We could potentially have a tie between Serenity and Arcana for second, depending on how the results shake out. You can see there's only one game between them right now, but Serenity are done playing for the day, so it's going to be up to Arcana to find enough wins to see if they can get themselves back into second or force a tiebreak, or if they're going to sit there in third where they are right now, which is not where they started to kick off the day, I might remind you.
We've had pretty much the same exact standings of Astrocats, Arcana, Serenity throughout the entirety of the first 2 weeks. And then today, when Serenity got the 2-0 against Astrocats, it really started to shake things up a little bit here. And once again, for the third time in the row, we did have a Serenity Arcana 1-2-1. But we're going back to the Astrocats. Astrocats for the first time in the tournament going 0-2. Got to look at the players once again here. You got Mermean in the top lane, Fiku as your jungler, Fairy Girl in the mid lane, Avril as your AD carry, and Billy Worth as your support, and the lovely Solaria and Marbles as your coach and manager duo. And once again, Astrocats are partnered with Team Liquid.
And on the other side, it is Arcana, Aquatic in the top lane, who we just heard from Ashley King, Empy in the jungle, Ayakura in mid lane, Ryle in the bottom lane, Shirley as their support, Coach Summer, and manager Gabrielle. Arcana, always a fun team to watch, paired up with NRG, if I remember correctly.
You do remember correctly.
Let's
go! Congratulations!
That was such a flip. Oh, that was a complete.
That would be a really bad flip if you lost it.
It's fine. We take those.
I believe it was Arcana selecting blue side here for game number 1 of today, as to no surprise, every single team so far today that had game 1 side selection did opt for blue side. So Arcana keeping up the tradition, keeping up the faith of the blue side meta. I don't know if it's a meta, but we're going with it. And with that, we do get to move into the draft for game number 1 of our best of 2. Just a reminder, if you don't know what a best of 2 is, it is only 2 games. You could go 0-2, you could go 1-1, you could go 2-0, but there is no third game tiebreaker.
Yeah, if you're struggling, it's like a best of 1, but it happens twice. There you go.
There you go.
1 + 1 is 2. That's quick maths, kids. Stay in school.
That's math you can do.
Yes, that's it. That's my limit. We found my limit.
Okay.
Simple integers. That's all I have.
I'm gonna ask you about gold lead graphs this game. Get the integral of the.
Nope.
What is the calculus thing?
I don't know. Don't calculus me.
I haven't taken calculus. The unit circle of the Ziggs ultimate.
Don't do it. Don't hit me with the geometry. Don't give me decimals.
What is the Sokotoa, something like that? There you go. Hitting you with the math.
I'm so terrified right now. Almost as terrified as the enemy are of Ziggs and Twitch.
Tell me I'm not the only person that learned Sokotoa.
I have no idea what that is. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I did not take maths in the last year of school.
I didn't either.
I avoided math for as long as... When it was legal to not do math, I did not do math.
Me too.
Well, look at you. It was not relevant to the degree I attempted to get. It is relevant to your degree.
What degree did you attempt to get?
Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. So I wanted to just do arts and be an English major. That would have been.
What is that?
Okay. The degree is so good that my graduating class was the last year to be offered that course. So perhaps not the university's most well thought out construction. Basically, I wanted to do an arts degree, but I didn't get good enough marks to do a pure arts degree. So at least at the school I wanted to go to. So I did the closest thing I could qualify for at the school I wanted to go to. And it happened to be a hybrid of art and science. But instead of being a double degree, it's like combined. It was very strange. Turns out I'm not like the best scientist ever in the world, and math, as we've noted, is not my strong suit. So it did not end well for me, and I left to cast esports instead.
Well, you need lots of math for esports here, don't you know? Like all the stats, all the numbers, and the gold, and the standings. I've been doing standings quick math here today. All the days really, but today especially has been important.
Couldn't be me doing standings math.
Rel has been left on the table for the first
Let's
time today.
go! Oh wait,
I'm sorry.
there's a reason for that, isn't
There's no
there?
Alosia. Halosia. I'm gonna get it right one day. Halosia in the game.
It's okay. Finals is next week. Don't worry about it.
Okay, don't worry about it. We've only been here 3 weeks. I've
Only.
only been here 3 weeks. I don't know.
Hey, look, Ariana again.
Hey, look, that's amazing. I'm gonna count how many Oriana games we have.
We have a lot. We had a lot of Ariana today.
Control F, Oriana. We have 4 Oriana games in the tournament before today. 3 of them were from Iker, 1 of them from Miss Timo. I'm gonna guess, I just lost my entire train of thought. Wow, okay, it went out the window. I think Miss Timo has single-handedly doubled that with 3 more Oriana games today. That was my train of thought.
She's been putting in work to get Oriana on the stage. We also have LeBlanc unbanned, which I did not notice because it was Ziggs, Zaya, Swain banned away. Looks like Triss is still getting kept out of the hands of Ryle. Don't really blame Astrocats. That was one of her probably best looking performances individually as far as dominating a lane and snowballing a lead, apart from Twitch, of course, which everyone kind of knows about at this point. But yeah, Kali being banned and Oriana being picked does leave LeBlanc open here for Fairy Girl. And it looks like, interestingly, Fiku is deciding to go with Xin Zhao instead of Jarvan. Jarvan is open and available. We'll see if MP wants to take it here, but interesting personal choice, I suppose. I think both champions are fairly good. In fact, MP is just shaking off the Jarvan completely. They're going to go for Vi here.
Last time Fairy Girl got the LeBlanc was against Ayukura last week, where Ayukura was on the Ayukura Talia did not end super well, ending with a KDA of 0, 6, and 3. So it was a very difficult mid lane. If you do remember that game from last week.
I do.
I think the Oriana might honestly be more difficult than the Talia. At least the Talia is able to like cancel the LeBlanc dash a little bit, right? Like, but other than that, they're both pretty immobile mages, so.
Yeah, a lot of skill expression. Early on, Oriana feels pretty good in these matchups because she has a great auto attack. And you can like shield yourself, but a lot of it honestly is about like where you're positioning relative to the wave and like are you actually adequately pushing and pressuring, because there's nothing scarier than a LeBlanc diving at you when you have no minions to protect you. So we're going to see a lot of skill expression in this matchup, and I think maybe we'll see why Fairy Girl's LeBlanc has not been given over so many times, because it's pretty good. But I think if I'm going to trust Ayukura to navigate in any matchup, it's probably something like Oriana, which all our mid laners, at least that we've seen today, has looked very comfy on.
And for the first time in a long time, we've had 0 bot lane champions picked in the first round of picks and bans. So we will be seeing probably 4 AD carry bans here, I'm guessing, and plus maybe a Braum ban. We're still yet to see a Braum ban. It surprised me every game so far, and honestly, it might just be a R4 Braum here if they don't ban it away from Billy Worth.
We'll see. Kai'Sa being banned, probably more ADs to boot. Do also have Aatrox here from Muramina, one of her best looking champions. She's looked great on just about everything, but certainly looked very good on Aatrox. Couldn't quite win the game today for Astrocats, but certainly not
it was close.
based on individual performance.
Real
and there's the Broman you prayed for. Look
Yay! At that. Okay, this is gonna be the Sona game right here, I think, for Billy Worth.
Oh, it's possible. There is an angle.
Sona, Janna's another good one here. I think could definitely have some more of the comfort fun picks here, potentially for them. But the most important part of any draft, gotta decide which champion is Ryo picking here. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown once again of all the champions Ryo has picked in case this is the first time you're here. Twitch, Yasuo, Vayne, Ashe, Tristana, Lucian, Aphelios, MF, and then today we gotta remember it was Kai'Sa and... Nope. Don't know. Another champion. Ezreal. What's the final champion?
Ashe banned, Ezreal unbanned, Rakan banned. A lot of, I mean, you said it. Like no bot lane picks in the first 6 means we're gonna get a
Yone.
ton of extra pressure thrown down there. Could be Yone. I don't want to.
Varus. Varus is good here.
It's not a bad Yasuo game. I just want to be honest.
But she's
with
already
the chat.
played Yasuo.
Yeah, I know.
It is funny that it was actually 2 support bans from Arcana and 2 AD carry bans from the Astrocats, so they kind of flip-flopped a little bit there, giving support the counter pick for Astrocats here as well. Very excited to see what Billy Worth pulls out with the R5. This is the Bardo game. This is the Bardo game.
Oh, it could be a bad game. It's true. Pretty good bad game.
Organa is actually not bad here either, but I don't think Pastry.
It's a repeat.
Pastry.
It's a repeat.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Today's just full of sadness.
That's not true. Today's great.
I
How's
almost got
Vaping?
my Twisted Fate. Shyset broke her champion streak. Rao broke her champion. What is happening?
Ooh, that's the spicy one. Wait, what is going on?
Oriana support. No?
I guess, yeah. I hope so.
I mean, Ayukura has, like, been playing Oriana so much every single game. Like, definitely, I would say the most comfort pick is Oriana for her at this point, right? Like,
Yeah.
would that make Vex support? What is happening?
I don't know. It's definitely for mid. I feel like this is a matchup that a lot of X players are pretty comfy in.
That's right.
There's a decent counter pick into LeBlanc. Oh, Billy West back to Karma. Like to see that. It's not Sona, but we'll take it.
That is true. That is true. Billy Worth did pull out the Karma in day 1 for the second game of the day, and it is Oriana support. And the Vex mid here, surely they're cooking something a little bit spicy coming out here for Arcana. Again, they have to win this game and the next game to lock second place for themselves. Only taking 1 game off of Astrocats for them today would in fact tie them in second with Serenity, and we don't actually know what the tiebreaker is yet, so we don't know who would win that tiebreaker.
When we know, we'll tell you, but we don't know yet. checking with the officials to see what the rule is, but we'll find out potentially at some point throughout today. For now, it is just going to be focusing on the games at hand, which is basically Astrocats wanting to close out strong. They are the #1 seed already. They are going to be awaiting the winner of the first best of 3 in the grand finals, which is a best of 3 live in LA next Saturday. Both those best of 3s will be played back to back. And while we have a quick moment now, as a reminder, get your tickets. They're free.
Exclamation point tickets.
Exclamation point tickets in the chat. We'll tell you how to get it. They're free. You don't have to pay any money. You just claim them and they're free. There we go. See?
I get it wrong every time. That way.
Cameras are tricky.
They are. They're very tricky, especially when they're mirrored. I have absolutely no idea where I'm pointing. But speaking of that, we do get to move into game. This is game number 5 out of game number 6. Out of 6 games. That's the right way to say that of today.
We're almost there. Road to LA is coming to an end. Everyone will be heading there in about a week's time. In fact, yeah, about a week's time. Sure.
A little less than a week.
A little less than a week, hopefully. A week's time would be a little, not too much time to get it all organized. But yeah, Astrocats trying to show why they are the #1 team, and Arcana trying to continue to showcase their style, try and nab back second place that they had coming into today after 2 weeks of play, and no matter what happens, it should be a very entertaining series of games because Arcana are a very entertaining team, and I do mean that in genuinely the most loving way possible. This team is so much fun to watch, and all the teams have been great, evolving, adapting, and learning a lot about competitive League of Legends over the course of the 3-month program.
Shirley has opted for not only the Spell Thief, but also the Airy. If we get an interview with Shirley at any point, I would love to ask more about the Oriana support and more about the Spell Thief and Airy combo here. I'm guessing if you pick Oriana support, maybe that is the combo that you do actually end up going. NP's having a rough time here. I think, was it NP? It was NP or the enemy jungler last game, right? He did get 3 buff first time, right? So either way, it is definitely very difficult to start, especially when you do have to be forced to watch the enemies clear your own red buff.
It was Shapeshift that got invaded by MP and Co. in the last game. This time, looks like Astrocats doing a bit of homework, watching the games, being like, hey, they look pretty good. Let's take that and do the invade for the potential 3 buff here. might see a vertical here, although Fiku diving on in the mid lane here. Ayakura could be in a spot of bother. Does have the flash, should be A-okay, but you never know. There's the chain landing, and that's going to be certain death. No flash will save you now, as the damage should be enough. Gonna have to wait a little while longer, but they're going to have it, as that's first blood for Fiku.
First blood picked up there, really nicely done by Fiku. Flash burned by both Fairy Girl and Ayakura there as well. And I mean, yeah, just nicely done from Fiku. Arcana knew exactly where Fiku kind of was, right? They knew that she probably cleared the chickens into mid lane. They didn't know for sure, but I would guess definitely pressing tab, seeing that she had the HCS. There you go. Aquatic had a cheater set up, but doesn't look like she's actually going to take it.
Yep, just going to stick around and see what happens here, because Fiku's diving again in onto Ayakura, but here's the defense. MP with the roam around into the mid-river, and that's a kill for the other jungler this time. It's Fairy Girl not going to be able to dive in now. It does have Billyworth in the back pocket, but backs away instead.
In the end, it's a 1-for-1, I guess.
Yeah, very extended 1-for-1.
One kill picked up for MP. In the end, both the mid laners also getting assist on those respective kills as well. And just like that, the assassin versus assassin mid lane, something that I didn't think I'd get to see a whole lot. Turns out to be going pretty even so far. In fact, neither of them getting either of the kills.
Yeah, biggest change or difference left, I suppose, is that the TP is still up for Fairy Girl. As Aquatic's done good work here in the top lane 1v1, curating these waves. Muramina level 4 does have flash. Should be just fine here with no counter strike up for Jax, but is going to burn the flash just to be safe.
Burn the flash just to be safe. I'm probably expecting Muramina to force the TP out here as well. So if you count that, that is kind of 2 summoner spells burned. I'm going to watch you. Yep, there's the TP as well. I want to talk a little bit more about this mid lane matchup, just because almost every single game of LCS Game Changers this year, right? We've had at least 1, if not 2, control mages in the mid lane, but this is the first time we've actually had an assassin in the mid lane here, Pastry.
Oh, it's a great time. As we might have to hold that though, because MP doing more work once again. Muramina in trouble. No flash this time. The wave not in the right spot. Looks like MP is going to complete their recall, so no fireworks just yet. But Aquatic happy with where the wave is. Mid lane, this is definitely something where the Vex players are happy. For the most part, this is a counter pick we see relatively commonly, although we don't see that much Vex, at least in North America. Generally, the thought is when Vex's passive is up, LeBlanc has to dive at you to get anything done, and it's very, very easy for you to find a fear and follow up with a nice trade. And you're kind of trading burst at this point, but Vex tends to just trade a little bit easier than LeBlanc does, because LeBlanc has the onus of jumping at you. Vex can just try and poke you and then try and explode you when you do dive in. But again, like any assassin matchup, can be very volatile. Is a lot about how you can operate in the side lanes of the game once you start getting out of lane. And generally at high level play, you don't see too many solo kills. Although certainly we have seen some this event, so not out of the realm of possibility. It looks like this dragon's going to be taken very swiftly by the Astrocats.
Yeah, extremely swiftly. Started up almost on spawn there as well. Completed it at 5:24, I do believe. So I could be wrong. I don't have the exact stats on this, of course, but I would go out on a limb here and say that was probably the first and fastest dragon that we've had taken all tournament long. I'm going to be continuing to watch this mid lane extremely closely. I feel like definitely in solo queue, you tend to see an assassin get like 1 or 2 kills, whether it's in mid lane or one of the side lanes as a gank, right? And then they just kind of snowball their mid lane out of control. So I would love to see if that actually happens here today as well, or if it's the same exact thing as a control mage matchup and they just kind of farm it out till 20.
I mean, I feel like a lot of high-level matchups end up being farmed out situations. Just sometimes they're more interesting than not. This wave here big from Fairy Girl actually has a huge CS lead right now. Aiku are going to struggle to maybe last hit all these. Vex doesn't have that many ways to help herself last hit, although wave clear is pretty good when you get levels into your skills, as you can see from there. Gets about all of those. Still 10 CS behind there as that wave is finished off. Both these mages can certainly contribute to team fights, which is something that like maybe a pure solo queue assassin, let's say someone like Talon, doesn't necessarily have the luxury of doing. So it's why you see these kind of picks more in the assassin column. Akali too, who weirdly is just kind of good at everything, which, you know, that's just an Akali thing, I guess. Congratulations, Akali. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it is going to be way more about how you affect the rest of the map than the individual matchup, although Fairy Girl comfortably laning here despite the counter pick for Ayakura, at least for now. So see how it plays out.
See now how it plays out in the top lane here as well. They've both popped that level 6, but MP Fission for a potential gank or even dive underneath the turret is going to be a little rough because, again, MP is sitting level 5 to now Aquatic's level 7. And the longer MP waits here, the longer or greater the experience gap is going to be between MP and Fiku. MP shows a little bit too early, and with that, the gank will be called off, unfortunately, enough for MP.
Yeah, Wave not even pushing in the right direction there. So MP going to walk up, maybe try and go for it again here. Actually, looks like the call has been to clear the wave. Yep.
Perfectly done.
One of two ways that Volt Breaker could have gone, and MP going to go ahead and at least spend their time helping clear the wave out. Oh, goodness. Good thing the jungler's there. That might have been an all-in from Muramina.
A little bit close up there, and honestly a little bit close literally across the entire map right now, right? Like, we've been swinging back and forth between the 500 gold lead. The first blood was found by Astrocats, then 1 kill back for Arcana, and back from that, not a whole lot else has happened. I mean, we also have the dragon and now possibly a second first Rift Shield for the Astrocats here as well. Maybe this Rift Shield being dropped could spawn the first true gold lead, depending on how well they're able to fight around it.
We should have plenty of ways, places to drop it though. I think all their lanes at different points have been pushing, so it's kind of a free range zone for Fiku, depending on where she wants to drop that Herald. We'll find out in a couple minutes, as it is sitting in the pocket, as they do take their second objective overall. Have all the objectives right now. As very curious to see what's been happening here on the bottom side. Ryle, I think expectedly losing in CS just a little bit here because this is a very annoying double range matchup. What Shirley is going to accomplish in this 2v2, I don't know. And Orianna support is honestly something I'm not super well versed in, but
You're not?
Definitely excited to see some shockwaves in the mid game, as we'll see Aquatic and Muramina duke it out here. But Fiku's up here, going to force Aquatic away, but the dive is coming on through.
Ooh,
finds the
flash.
gets the knock up, but is going to force the flash. Aquatic will get out safely, but does have to burn the summoner.
Flash to flash traded, but you still see the wave. Okay, now the wave is crashed. I was going to say the wave is in an absolute terrible spot for Aquatic until it actually crashed, right? Now, perfectly fine. Not quite a cheater recall, I don't think, but Aquatic doesn't have TP, so either way, she will be forced to walk back up to the top lane. Very, very, very slow early game here, and of course, just as I say that, I jinx everything possible. Very well with the clone. I was going to say, not 100% sure which one it was, but apparently MP does. Commit on the right one, and you earned yourself your second kill of the game.
Yeah, I think MP managed to click on the right one before the passive procced over. Very nice all-in for Ayakuro. As finding the Vex ulti, follows up, and then gets the kill. I thought actually Fairy was going to level up in time to live, but MP has enough damage on the back end of the play. As the TP comes in, Ayakuro has the passive ready to go, and just threads, gets the auto.
Yeah, look at that.
Passive applies. Big damage, and yep, just clicked on the right one.
Ayakuro really did thread that, like, right within pixels of that minion, right? If that just hit the minion instead of her, would have been an entirely different series of actions there. For flash forward from Billy Worth will be flashed away by Shirley as well. Ryle might not be so lucky, will flash away just in time. Ignite take it down on a Ryle, but Shirley is the one living with just 1 HP. Billy Worth popped level 6, but Shirley is not quite as lucky, and you see the amount of experience that Shirley's missing right now as well. Will be given quite a lot of that to Ryle and now MP.
Yeah, getting a little dicey, but everyone lives, which I guess is the good news. The bad news is that Astrocats, I guess, taking a page out of the Serenity playbook, and they are also very efficient on Dragons, at least in this game. Going to take the second one very quickly off of the back of that bot pressure, despite losing their mid laner just a moment ago. Good call out you had on Vex's ulti. That Shadow Surge hitbox is pretty forgiving for something that looks like a thin missile. It's not, look, it's not Nautilus cute, but it's got some width to it that you can exploit. Ayakuro certainly finding the angle there on that one. But the good news for Arcana really coming from the jungle so far. Gold is even, and MP finished themselves a Triforce already. Looking to maybe do battle in the jungle or in the lanes again.
I would say the same exact thing for the Astrocats, actually, is the fact that they have 2-0 on the Dragons in the early game. They're not exactly a scaling team comp, right? Like, Avril is going to be able to do damage later in the game as the Ezreal, but other than that, that's kind of what they're relying on right now. So the Dragons being in their favor early will be very nice. Ripshell dropped in the mid lane. MP going to be forced flash away. Feika flashing in right after them as well. Might not be so lucky to make it out alive. Fear just a little bit too late, and Ripshell ends up crashing, giving solo gold play, I believe, there to Fiku.
Aatrox Q coming up clutch there. Muramina with the roam down. Manages to tie up MP long enough to give the second kill over to Astrocats. Even in kills, basically even in gold. Dragons, as you pointed out, the only thing not even. This game going about as well as Arcana could hope for to kind of kick things off here, but we'll see if Astrocats can lean on that dragon. We've kind of seen that a lot, actually, and unfortunately Arcana have been the recipient of this already so far today, where...
Ooh.
Good. Oh, there's a flash. Okay, I was going to say. Ooh, Shirley. Just fine. Shield definitely. Oriana keeping things safe. Set actually is done for Ryle now as well, so going to be a little bit easier at least pushing these waves back as Avril's going in, but could be trouble. Night Hunter is popped there for Ryle. Billyworth's going to be the target, and Tumble is going to go in. Billyworth should go down here. Beautiful little condemn as Ryle's going to keep on chasing, but doesn't have the damage here for Avril. Never mind, going to go for it. Tumble damage, not quite enough, but made it awfully close.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely almost a dive angle for Ryle just on her own. If there is one more body there with enough HP to take a couple tower shots, could have been a double kill for Ryle almost single-handedly. Meanwhile, back here on the top lane, Aquatic having a grand old time against Muramina. One more tower shot there may have been enough to finish off Aquatic, but Muramina playing really quite on fire. Aquatic is going for the dive. One more auto. Cements the 1v1 solo kill for Aquatic, but also a solo kill for Muramina.
That's a scoreboard there for Aquatic. I think she'll be happy with that one, even though it is a trade at the end of it all. They both have TP as well, so not a huge loss as far as tempo goes on either side. We'll see if they do want to pop the TPs back to top or if there's perhaps something else brewing. I don't think with the Dragon 2 minutes away that they'll do anything other than go back top in whichever mode of transportation they deem most appropriate. But it is nice to see things opening up. Still kind of confined here as the lanes are still pretty closed off. Ayakura taking damage, but not enough as Shirley, the other mid laner, roaming on in here on Oriana.
These teamfights are going to be so fun to watch. Shockwave popped on to only Fiku. MP got to watch from the top lane, though, coming in all the way with the Unstoppable. Shirley does not have enough teamfight ultimate to actually survive for that long. And as I say that, I mean, Avril just a little bit too late to the party. 1-4-2 in the favor of Arcana.
Yeah, that's Ryle getting picked off as well. Almost instantaneously. Didn't really get to contribute too much damage, but the rest of the squad fights it out and lives to tell the tale. Also, TPs were committed by both top laners as the scrap did open up.
Oh, no.
But MP now in a Billyworth doesn't have the ulti, but going to keep on going. Oh, that's so sick. Volt Breaker's in, tries to make it happen. Ayakura flashes in, is going to make sure that kill goes down, but MP should be dead here. And Muramina finds the Volt Breaker, still needs to keep kiting it out, but Muramina does finish it off 1-for-1 once again.
Wow.
It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, I did not think that was going to be a 1-for-1 by any stretch of the imagination. Billyworth as well also burned both of their summoner spells there as well, so probably not very worth for her, but I mean 1-for-1 is the best you can do as a support there in the 1v2 scenario, right? And still, the gold lead is so even. It's just bouncing back and forth. 500 in one place, 500 in the other place. Even like, I would bet in all the individual lanes, it's probably top lane that's the only one with like any sort, yeah, here we go, any sort of real gold lead. Top lane's about 1,000 gold, but everything else is dead even.
Yeah, I'll remind you also that Aquatic was actually doing a really nice job in the early stages of the lane, but once again, Muramina has found her way to just like getting a, 20, 30 CS lead? She's just consistently finding, okay, it's not that big, it's only 10, but consistently finding leads for herself, even when the early game is not necessarily going as well, or opponents are just leveraging the strength of the early part of the matchup to get a lead. She is so good at consistently finding leads on all her champions, and Aatrox, I think, has been a standout of the tournament, and certainly today. We'll have to hold all that, though, because Astrocats are back on the Dragon, and this time we're going to get a fight for it.
Potential fight, potential steal here. MP fishing for something. Doesn't land any knockups, but you got to watch Ayakura on the other side of the wall. 5k left on the Dragon. Fiku and MP both have the smite. Those are the members you gotta watch. She's fishing for a steal, not gonna take it. It's MP with the smite landed. Ayakura flashing over the wall. There goes your Vex, and there goes your team. Fiku, the first member to fall, and Avril over the wall. Not gonna be able to do a whole lot on her own there. And beautiful team fight, beautiful execution there by Arcana.
Yep, Dragon and a pick to boot. Feels good there for Arcana, finding a little bit of purchase here in this game. This is after the Dragon. Vex finally finds the pick. You think it's going to be Avril. Avril shifts out of the way and says, Fiku, you're the one in my warpath. I'm going to take you out. And of course, Ryle's just continually running at the enemy through the cloud patch because there may be another kill. You never know. Not the worst news at all for Astrocats fans, but certainly a pick Arcana will be happy to take. And I think more than that, getting that gold is good, but stopping that potential dragon is even nicer. The game is so different when it's 3 quick dragons versus 2 to 1, and Ryle is going to get blown to pieces here by Fairy. It doesn't matter how many skills you miss. Wait, actually, Ryle's popping up. It's playable. Oh my goodness, it was so playable.
Ryle quite literally, I would say, played that perfectly. Maybe if she committed the flash into the bush, like playing with vision that way, could have been the one for Zoe, but even then, like, that was about as perfectly as you could have played that with the fake feet on Ryle there.
Yeah, that was real nice for Ryle.
I love to see when the, oh, never mind. Fiku going in onto Shirley here. Come in the flash for her as well. Avril showing up a little bit too late, and Shirley with the, oh no, I forgot the name. The go fast button support build gets out of time. What's the name of it?
Shirley's?
Yeah, that one.
I like go fast button support. That's a good one.
Yeah,
there you go. Shirley's battle
you.
song. Thank you, observers.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. You got the point across. It doesn't matter what the item name is.
True, I did. You got it.
For some people, they find that stuff more entertaining. It's all a matter of preference. All a matter of taste.
Button.
And all a matter of pushing here in the mid lane. Arcana getting that Rift Herald for the zippy tempo play here in mid. In fact, they're going to try and follow it up with a fight on the end of it all. Top lane is not going to be joining for a while. They do have TP, but they're busy fighting each other. And that's a pick if I've ever seen one. Billyworth's going to be sacrificed to Arcana.
Bye-bye Billyworth and potentially
bye-bye Avril?
Avril here as well.
Woo!
Wow!
A banger! An absolute monumental blockbuster. MP
Where
with the
did
ulti,
she go?
follows up by the Vex, and that is a combo if I've ever seen one. What a simple to execute. That, I mean, that feels bad as a carry player.
Yeah!
It's bad enough when you get clicked on by Vi and she one-shots you. Like, Vex is coming at you from like 4 screens away. You are never, ever living in that spot.
Man, I try to think about those combos, like, you know, from draft, but I gotta tell you this. I'm sorry, I did not think about the Vex plus Vi Wombo ulting.
Look how far away this is!
The lane. Like, look at this spacing that Avril had, and even then, it's just apparently not enough against the Vex Vi combo. Didn't know that was a combo until today, but here we are.
It's all about discovery. You know what? In some ways, it's more fun to discover in the game when it happens instead of out of the game. Because then you spend the whole time being like, "What if they're gonna do the thing?" And then the thing never happens. You're like, wasted a bunch of time, didn't I? Talking about the thing that never happened. Speaking of wasting time,
smart point before everything broke out in all hell. But you know what? You know, the Ryle, like, Faker feat 1v1 against the block with the bot lane, right? Like, I want to point out, like, most of these players are, like, Master GM Challenger, right? Like, Ryle specifically, I think, was just Challenger last week, if not GM right now, right? And, like, you have to remember, these players are actually mechanically insanely good at this game. But the fact that we get to see them show that off, especially on the stage, hopefully next week, really on the stage, right? Like, I just find that part of the tournament so exciting. Billyworth will be knocked up here. Empty will not be letting anyone go untouched. Double shockwave as well. But here comes Ayukura. Muramina trying to flash away. TP coming in onto Avril. Fiku just about able to dodge away. Aquatic will not be letting Fiku go away alive. Avril as well will be jumped on. Fairy Girl with the root. I think they will get to live for now. But 2 for 3, one for 3 even in the favor of Arcana.
I don't know why we're still fighting. If you've been hit by that Fairy Arrow, I think you're absolutely dead. Playing with fire here as they're trying to keep the wave away, but I'm not sure it's going to do much other than buy a bit of time. Ryle, actually, the one trying to get the incoming flank, is going back to 1v1 to LeBlanc. Gets herself chained, but the turret is down in mid, and now Avril is going to try and chase the pursuers. Ghost is there. Ryle is once again frontlining as a Vayne. Condemn is beautiful, but it's not enough, and Fairygo finds one. Maybe going to be 2, but the shields are there. The true drop Raj doesn't quite find it. Aquatic trying to run away, and the fight is still breaking out. Shirley trying to buy some time. The burst there is good. Avril low, but not dead, and they have to now find a way to maybe get Aquatic out, or if nothing else, buy time so the enemy team can't do. Baron Aquatic fighting is out. Fairygo finally picks up the kill, and Baron's still on the menu here for Astrocats.
I got real worried that that was going to be like one of those Jax clippable moments where you're like at 1 HP and you kill the enemy with 100 HP. That was for sure what that looked like right there. But luckily for Astrocats, it was not. And in the end, it will in fact be Astrocats somehow, I don't know how, are actually the ones able to take the Baron. And also, after all the fighting we just had, it is still only a 2,000 gold lead for Arcana.
Yeah, very interesting game. I mean, the fact that it's 2,000 gold after Baron got taken means that that gold lead that I clearly have not been paying close enough attention to was actually kind of out of control at one point here, with Arcana finding all these fights. I mean, for me, this comp is representative of the thing that Arcana love to do, and that is fight. This is the Chaos comp, and they will show you right now why it's so good for them. As Avril gets the lead and Ayakura is chasing down Billyworth. Ayakura, one more Q needed.
Wow.
There it is now, dominating on the Vex.
Arcana will not fall to third place if they have anything to say about it. They need one win today minimum to at least tie for second. Fairy Girl trying to just clear the wave or one-shot Ayakura. One or the other, probably can do both at this point of the game. Inhibitor taken to about 50% HP, but remember those can regenerate regenerate HP even if they are not taken immediately.
Yep, the towers can as well. So do have to do the full job, even though the regeneration is pretty slow on both of those structures. But it seems like both teams are a little bit more concerned about falling back safely. Also dragging up in 4 minutes, because we did have one taken before that Baron that happened. Actually, it was after the Baron that happened, because I kind of decided that there was no use in fighting for that Baron. They did not have enough personnel left to make it happen. As Fairy Girl chops down the tower in mid. 2,000 gold still between these two teams, but I have a funny feeling this game is not really about the gold anymore.
I have gotten our first update from production on what the tiebreaker will be if this series go 1-1. So I did have a guess. My guess is kind of correct in that tiebreaker will be decided by total victory game time. So if Arcana and Serenity do tie, I think it would be 5-5 or something like that for game score. It would go to overall victory time. And if you do remember, Serenity got the fastest win of the entire tournament just earlier today, so I don't have the exact stat on that, but I think they might be in the lead for that right now.
Certainly can't be feeling too bad about their position, you have to think, as Arcana trying to shut the door on this one. I mean, it's for how much has happened in this game, it's actually not that much time having elapsed. Like, yes, League of Legends has gotten quite a bit faster since the old days. But, you know, we've noted that we haven't got to that many Elder Dragons.
But
this
Malzahar
tournament.
is so fun. What do you
Malzahar
mean?
Is really fun. I don't disagree with you. But, yeah, it's only 25 minutes. 4 dragons taken, and we're still fighting for every objective on the Rift. 2.5 minutes, a little early for this dragon, perhaps, but teams are wanting to stick together because I think they've both realized the same thing, is that both teams have a pick comp. That's a very nice dodge for Ayakura. Can she get out of there? That fear might actually be enough. The W not there, and there's a live. In fact, is there more? No. Arcana thinking better, but a very nicely played.
No, there's... I'm sorry, there's no way.
I mean, I can see on my screen, she's still alive.
Surely. What just happened?
Maybe we'll see it again.
I hope we see it again, honestly. That would be a really fun play to watch again. Oh no, is this gonna kill her? Oh. I thought for sure if observers are following this, does that mean that's what kills her?
Oh, she's chilling. Already back down to the bottom lane, full HP. It's almost time for a death cap. This Vex is popping off. I mean, Fairy Girl's having a great game. 4-3-2, 250 bonus gold. Lichbane done. Night Harvester done alongside the Shiv. But Ayakura is going to have Rabadons in short order. Going to be level 3 on the ulti as well once she hits 16. And we're already seeing the combo between MP and this Vex. Ayakura is going to be problematic for the Astrocats carries there.
I personally love how Billyworth purchased a Darksteel this game. I don't think enough supports, especially Enchanter supports, actually go for the Darksteel, but games like this is absolutely worth it. Fiku might be caught out here. She's just looking to clear her grab, but might not be so lucky. Surely flash away, but straight into Fairy Girl. Fairy Girl is LeBlanc, might just be able to get away in time, but not if Ryle has anything to say about it. Apple showed up a little bit late to the party, just to be able to eat away over the wall, but Ayakura is here.
Oh my God, Ryle
says not today. Ayakura will chase you down, shut you down. Over the wall, not going to be quite in range for that
it's
one.
An ace.
Vermina will still fall. It's the ace. 2 for 5. So well played by Arcana.
Where's the wave at, fam? Arcana looking to end this game after that play. What a kooky team fight there. Extremely messy, but in a way that honestly really plays to the strengths of Arcana. Ryle did full personality on display here in this fight. You know what? Let's watch it again and find out. Tumbles into the enemy melee champion. To be fair, she has teammates around her. Shirley gets absolutely obliterated, and a one literal auto attack kills the support out of Fairy Girl. But now Ryle's trying to chase down LeBlanc. That passive, by the way, fully interrupted Ryle's flow, potentially chasing that kill. But Avril's now diving in, and they're going to have to go for it here. But Muramina has the flank. Ayakura finds the first ulti, gets the reset, goes again. Here in the Vex finds Avril, goes again, looks for Fairy Girl. Tags everybody up there, carrying the back end of that fight after Ryle dove in and lived for so long with that Vayne, as that last Vex ulti just barely misses. Thankfully, Aquatic and MP able to clean up the ace at the end of it all. Gonna get the Dragon as the cherry on top of the cake. Game is not done just yet, but Arcana feeling good. And again, this is the kind of comp that I feel like is only for them. No one else is picking Vex and Orianna support and going absolutely off.
And Vi and Jax and even Vayne as well. Like, all 5 of these champions just are such an Arcana comp, and I love how well that they've been able to execute this game, right? Like, you would not see this comp played by Astrocats. You would not see this comp played by Serenity. You would not see this comp played by most teams at this competitive Challenger plus level, right? Like, it is such a difficult comp to pull off, mechanics-wise and communication-wise, and they have been able to do it so well, and against the top team of this tournament so far, right? First place, Astrocats. This would be their 3rd loss today. Not very good after going 4-0 last week. Yeah,
they only had 1 loss coming into this week, for everyone that's playing at home. So potentially picking up quite a significantly more losses than the one they had. 7-3 right now. We'll see if that goes to 7-4. If the game goes the way I kind of want it to, they're certainly on the path to ending this game. And again, this Vex has been so good for Ayakura, a player that I think we've seen, they come for champions, their strengths, and we think, okay, they're pretty good on the champions that they're clearly comfortable on, but hasn't necessarily shown up on others. This is a pick I did not expect, but clearly something they will practice on. Rabadon's is now done, has a stopwatch as well. This Baron is going to be tricky. Ayakura is going to be caught, but they can't follow up here. Muramina is still going in. He's going to buy a bit more time with the stopwatch, but MP a little bit too far forward. There's the shutdown. There's the second kill, and Ryle now going to try and fight out 1v4. Shirley is here. The shockwave is on, and Ryle's going to live for a little while longer, but Muramina finds the shutdown. The double kill may not be enough as Aquatic tries to find her own highlight reel, but I think Arcana have to turn tail. Astrocats are going to win that team fight as Farigal finds the chainer, but Aquatic zips on out of there with the leap strike, and Arcana are going to live, but they did not win that fight.
I thought for sure that was about to be like a full-on dandy moment for Ryle, like single-handedly turning that one before. It was so close, man. Just 1 or 2 mispositions would have earned you a quadra kill in that scenario, but we get to watch it again here. Ayakura, by the way, almost lived very illegal.
Good timing on the other end there to make sure that did not happen. Ryle trying her hard out here, but Fiku again so disruptive. Xin is such a frustrating champion for these carries to deal with. And Ryle gets 2, but Muramina, the next bruiser to dive on in, make sure that does not go well. And Aquatic here on the Jax, playing hopscotch here with Shirley, making sure she can get out safely. Beautiful little counter strike into the leap strike to zip on out of there. So 3 for 2, I believe, at the end of it all. Arcana on the losing end of that trade, which isn't good news given that they had the gold lead. Astrocats keeping the game nice and close. Have a funny feeling it's going to come down to our next major objective. We have the Baron, we have a Dragon up in 2 minutes. It would be the soul for Arcana if they got it. We're getting very close to this game breaking all the way open.
I mean, that really wasn't a team fight, right? That was a 5v, like, 1v1, v1, v1. Like, it was just one at a time from Arcana. If they had all gone in together, it would have been yet another massive team fight victory for them. AK left on the Baron. Arcana are pulling off now. Fairy Girl TPing in on the mid lane, just a little bit too far away from the party to really have an impact. But just like that, Arcana do end up pulling off the Baron, getting the TP out of Fairy Girl for nothing, unless Astrocats actually might decide to start the Baron up themselves.
I have to try something here. You know you're going to give it away to them if you don't go ahead and take it yourselves. And again, we are going to get kind of a split decision here between the objectives because Dragon's up in 90 seconds. Looks like both teams are going to back off and reset for the next fight. Arcana a little, not shy necessarily, but definitely aware that they need to keep a little bit of composure. This is a team that is very chaotic, messy in a good way. And this is the kind of comp that does that very well. But they have certainly not been as not as cohesive is what I'm looking for as the other teams so far, and I think again there's still plenty of time to continue to build that camaraderie, build that cohesion, build that teamwork. They just need to make sure everyone's on the same page. And sometimes that takes a little bit of extra time, just pulling back and making sure nothing silly is happening. So both teams going to reset here. Looks like Arcana are going to play for the Dragon, and that means Astrocats are zipping straight to the Baron, trying to get sneaky. Spotted by the ward, though.
There's the Shurelians. I remember the item name now. This time, Team Peep is actually canceled on the bot lane, so it's only going to be 3 members strong for Arcana around the Baron. They do not have their jungler here, and they might not have Shirley here much longer. Ryle trying to get that damage, get the auto attacks in, but you got to get the kiting out just perfectly as well. Mermaid goes golden by a couple of extra seconds. Ryle still kiting so perfectly. She has been untouched in this fight just until now. Finally ends up going down, and here comes the rest of the squad of Arcana to help the rest of the team here. Just like that, you got 2 picks for Astrocats. The Baron is still alive, but you don't really have enough resources to actually take it now.
Yeah, you don't have a jungler, so I don't think it's going to happen here. It's going to be MP going to go and soloing up this Dragon, which will be the soul for Arcana if they can get it. Absolute madness in that team fight. The reason, by the way, that was the way it was is because Ayakura and MP soloed 2v1 Ferigo and got the kill. I had to walk all the way back to that Baron. So Ryle taking matters into her own hands, alongside Aquatic, who played so well on this Jax, frontlining, dealing damage, and creating that space that Ryle needed to live as long as she did, to create a situation where they weren't going to give the Baron away or throw the game away. Very close, like playing on a knife's edge is Arcana, and I think that's something that makes them such a fun team to watch, but that was one wrong move away from going bottoms up. And for Arcana, they'll be happy to say that they got the Dragon and they're looking for the Baron now.
If I'm Arcana's coach right now, Summer, I am sitting on the edge of my seat like, okay, what do I have to tell them in the 5 minutes before these games, right?
I think the chair is out of the room. I think it's been thrown out a window already.
Oh, yeah, no,
There's
never
no
mind.
more chair.
Arcana's not, or Summer's not sitting on the edge of a chair anymore.
Vex!
It's going to be Arcana sitting on the edge of their chairs. There we go, just instantly blown up. Nothing else she can really do with that one. Ayakura's ult does go a little bit wide, but they have the Cloud Soul. 4 clouds make a soul. And they're going to be zooming around this rift here. Lots and lots of movement speed.
Yep, going to go ahead and take this Baron away. Fiku is in the area, but surely going to play defense. And I got to swap positions with Ayakura. And that Baron, more than enough damage to slap that one down. No contest. It'll be a great pick on Deferigo. Once again, utilizing the Vi plus Vex combo. This time, Shirley even added in a little Oriana Shockwave to the end of that Vi ulti, as MP thinks a bit better about walking directly through fog when she can't see any enemies.
MP,
and they're going to back
it.
off.
No! Okay.
It's okay. It's just a wolf. You can let it go. Oh, here's Ryle.
Arcana does trade the Baron for at least 1 tower. Really nice ult there by Aver, landing onto Ryle, but MP is not going to let them go very quietly.
Oh!
A massive fear. Absolutely insane Vex play from her this entire game so far. They popped the GA on Muramina, but I mean, that's just a triple kill waiting to happen for Ayakura. That's just a game waiting to happen at this point. This is possibly the end of the game now for Arcana.
I think it is the end of the game. Ayakura is Vex. We don't give out MVPs, but if we did, we would give one to her. MP gonna get the final nails. Ferigo gets punched in the face and taken back down to the fountain. And it's Fiku all alone defending 5v1 as Arcana are gonna keep themselves in the race for second, taking out the Astrocats here in game 1.
Taking out the Astrocats. Arcana now tied with Serenity for second place, I believe. 5-5 for both teams now. Final game. It all comes down to the last game, Pastry. One more game. Will Serenity take second, or will it be a tie?
I guess we'll see. Momentum is a big thing. But I'm not sure I kind of got enough momentum off that game. They looked really good in spots, but it was a little shaky to get ourselves to the end of that game. And I don't know if Ayakura is going to get Vex again. That's probably the first obvious takeaway. I mean, giving Ferigo LeBlanc, which is a champion that many teams, are kind of included at points, have not wanting to give over, being like, yeah, I got a counter pick. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. Ferigo still had a good game, I might remind you. Like, had kills, was making impact, was finding picks continually, and then Vex kept happening. We have a replay. I think we'll have maybe a look at Vex stuff happening in this one. Oh no, this is... Wait. Oh, this could be anything.
Which replay is this? I don't remember.
Oh, I remember what replay this is. This is the, 2v4 they have to fight, because the rest of the team is fighting... Sorry, the 3v4, because they're busy picking off Ferigo. Ryle and Aquatic here teaming up absolutely incredibly well. Good stasis there. Good flash from Ryle there to dodge in. And Fiku's like, I should be chasing down everyone. This should be so easy. But here's the defensive play for Aquatic. Finally forces out the ulti. Ryle eats the damage. Aquatic hops on back. And again, they're kiting as long as they can. Muramino just barely misses that Q, but the final auto does take out Ryle. Aquatic does live, and then they have just enough resources to get themselves out of here.
Ryle kited that team fight like super well. Obviously, she kited almost every single team fight super well, but that one in particular was like damn near perfect basically the whole time, and that showed. Which, I mean, you should not be able to live a 2v4 for that long as Vayne Jax combo, right? Like Vayne Jax are not necessarily a 2v4. Not a whole lot of utility between the two of them. It's just kind of pure damage, and usually that doesn't work out super well. But if you can play it well enough that you don't get CC'd, that's as well as it can possibly go. Now, Astrocats, for the final time, have side select here. Last time they had side select earlier today, they did in fact choose a red side. I think they might be the only team that's been choosing red side at all with their side select. I could be wrong on that. Don't know the exact stats again, but as far as I know, they're the only ones that have actually been not choosing blue side 100% of the time.
I think so, and we are going to get same sides, so curious to see how the draft shakes out. I feel like this game, unfortunately, it's kind of funny that we're coming up in our last game before we go to LA, kind of last game of the regular part of the tournament before finals, because I feel like that game provided way more questions than it did answers. But thankfully, if you want to get answers to all your questions, you could get them live in LA if you're going to be in the area, or if you happen to live around here and you want to go see some live League of Legends. Type in ! tickets in the chat, in the Twitch chat for info, and we'll get you info on how you can claim your tickets. They are free. You just have to type in that, follow whatever steps are there, and we'll give you some tickets. They are free. We are giving them to you. You just have to get out there, spam in chat, and claim them. So go do it. What are you waiting for? Do it. What have you done already?
And if you're waiting for some reason, why don't you go follow the teams on their Twitters as well? Teams and players all have their own personal Twitter pages, Astrocats, Arcana, and Serenity. Make sure you go follow all three of them over there. They've been making some beautiful posts, I believe, all day today even as well during their games. You've got lots of clips, I think it's Serenity that does the clips. One of the teams has like a massive amount of clips. I'm sorry. It's escaping me which team it is.
I've seen a ton of different Twitter clips, so definitely shout out to all the teams for getting their work done. I mean, look, if you're a League of Legends team and your team's playing, you're not tweeting, I don't know what to tell you. So I think they figured that part out of the seminar, if nothing else. And it has been really cool to see. Again, like, lots of different facets of esports, learning so many things throughout the program. Things like, yes, posting effectively on social media included, which, if I'm being honest, is kind of relevant to a huge number of things right now. So. Not a bad skill to learn, no matter what field you end up in, even one as fun as esports.
Arcana is the one that has all the clips.
Yes, they are the clip Charlies. They can't stop. Clip Cathies.
I could be wrong on this. I'm so sorry, but I believe it's Real Clue. Real Clue. I'm sorry. She's the one that's been getting all the clips for them. I'm like 90% sure that somebody please tell me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm shouting out the right person for that.
If you're not, we'll find the right person. I have an update for you from production. If Arcana win this, they're second place. You figured that out already. Good work. If they lose, however, as we discussed, there are tiebreaker rules. Tiebreaker rules are based on victory win time.
Yep.
If they are tied with Serenity, they'll be third because they don't win on breakers, given that we're tie breaking with victory time. Your hunch about that super speedy Serenity game maybe being indicative of how quickly they have won? Absolutely correct there, Camcom. Give yourself a pat in the back.
Let's go. I mean, for all we know, Arcana's about to blow us out of the water and get a 20-minute win, right? Like, if that happens, then we've really just thrown everything to the wolves, right? Like, Serenity getting that 20, it was a 22 or 23-minute win. Either way, it was the fastest win in the entire tournament in the first game of today against Astrocats. It's so funny that game is going to be the tiebreaker for them getting second over third. Like, how crazy is that? And also, Astrocats are, like, on the verge of going 0-4. That is not at all what we were predicting after last week, 4-0.
That's right. I totally forgot about that because they haven't been playing. They played first, like, back. I forgot all about the 0-2 that happened.
Yeah, they're 0-3 now, by the way. That's not good.
I am at least glad that it's nice and close coming into finals. That'll be the fun one because,
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about like the pressure being on in this kind of event where everything is so condensed. It's really on stage, on finals. You're playing one day and one day only. You have back-to-back best of threes. Potentially more games in one day than you've ever played so far this tournament, depending on how long the series themselves go. Gonna be a lot for these players. Gonna be so exciting to watch. As a reminder, you can get tickets in LA, !tickets. Do it again. We're not gonna run the thing yet, but you can do it. You should do it. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm just glad it's close, because I think, again, coming into this week, I was a little worried that we'd kind of established a hierarchy, and I'm happy to announce, now that we're heading into the final game of this week, that I was very, very wrong.
Hierarchy has been completely blown apart. Even with the standings, Astrocats being first, we truly have no idea who is the first place team until the finals next week. Again, I'm going to be there casting. Jolly will also be there casting with me. I'm so excited. I know I kind of told you about this a little bit, but I want to tell the stream as well. I had a dream last night about casting at the LCS studio, so this is quite literally a dream for me that I'm about to, like, actually do it in, like, 7 days. Like,
Yep.
It's not real. This is not real.
It is real. We're here. This is us. We're casting League of Legends right now.
It's not
There's
real.
There's more League of Legends to come. I don't know what to tell you. Today is not the last day. We were promised 4 Saturdays. There's another Saturday.
You want to know who I was casting with? Because it was not Jolly and it was not you in my dream.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Who is it?
Get one guess. It was a trio cast for some reason. You get one guess on one of them.
I hope one of them was Cadril.
I wish. No, it was Azale and Golden Glue.
That's a banger track, though.
Why did I dream I casted with them?
I don't know. Manifesting.
I don't know. Maybe it's actually going to be a trio cast of us next week. Tune in to find out.
Exactly. Tune in to find out how accurate is Camcom's dream casting. We'll have to find out in just a few moments. Before we get there, though, we do have one final game to play. Also, one final interview coming up after that game. If you're the kind of person that tunes in for the game and then tunes out and goes away and does something else, I implore you, for this event specifically, don't do that. I'm willing to say that Ashley Kang is kind of smurfing on us as far as content goes. I'm doing my best. I'm casting League of Legends, but I feel like the real gold we get is Ashley Kang chatting away with someone at the end of each series. So don't miss the interview. That will be coming up after this game. But before we get there, one final game to determine if Arcana are going to be second or third. Usually it's if you're not first, you're last, but Arcana at least have an opportunity to push themselves into second, but Draft is ready to go! Oh, no bans yet.
No bans yet.
And a serious ban.
Speaking of Ashley Kang, though, I think she gave a little bit of a, I don't want to say presentation, but presentation to the players before week one even started, and she talked about how her goal in Game Changers this year was to bring out the stories of all the players and all the teams as best as she could, and I think she's been doing an absolutely stellar job. Honestly, like, massive props, massive shout out to Ashley Kang. Has been doing an absolutely crazy work behind the scenes. You only see her on screen for 3 or 4 minutes at a time during these interviews, right? But that is not all the time that she is committed to this.
Yeah, also in, like, until recently, like, not the, I don't know what the time zone is, but, like, clearly not the easiest time zone in the world.
Yep. Korea from my time zone, EST, is plus 13 hours. So, yeah. She's been doing these interviews at, like 4 a.m. usually until she flew into LA, I believe, earlier this week. So.
All right, what's happening here? We have Ziggs and Twitch banned once again. You know what? Let's ignore the bans for now, because I have a funny feeling they're going to be very similar to what we've already seen.
I can't play the game of guess what champion Ryo and Avril are going to play. What champion are they going to play? Now all the champions are back on the table again. Except for Twitch, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me see. I could get a Vayne game. I would like another Vayne game. Vayne game is fun.
Vayne has been really fun today, actually. I've been surprised, but Vayne has been
She played Tristana? We haven't seen Oh, nope. Never mind. Not going to be a Tristana. I was going to say I would like to see another Tristana. That's a fun champion to watch and cast, but not today.
I don't want to say that I was promised a Yone bot game by Ryle, but she did tweet about it, and I did encourage it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna cling on to the hopium for that one.
Okay. Yeah, let's get a Yone bot on the deciding game of whether you're second or third. I think that's a good idea.
It's good. She said it's good.
Is it good enough that you're gonna put it on the line for second place, though? Is that
I mean,
good?
look, if there's ever a player to do it, it's obviously going to be Ryle. I mean, that is the thing about her, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm picking for funsies. It's very much thinks it's good. Is picking for matchup and wants to try and win lane. Avril really, I think, actually had Ryle's number last time they played a week before. So nice to see the whole bottom lane rising up as Oriana's a cute little ban, keeping it away from Ayakura and apparently Shirley, because we just flexed it, but does kind of show how omnipresent that champion has been, and I think this week in particular has demonstrated that.
I'm pretty sure Rihanna's been 100% presence today. I could be wrong. Maybe one game she wasn't in, but I'm pretty sure 100% presence. If not picked, then banned every single game. And Jax left unbanned. It's going to be that B1 blind pick here for Aquatic. Aquatic's been playing lots and lots of Jax so far. I believe this is her 4th game on Jax in the tournament.
Yeah, Aquatic's Jax and Camille have been standouts for her, so I'm not surprised to see the priority being very high on Jax again. Marina, again, in lane handled herself great, but it wasn't really about lane by the way the game broke out in the mid game. Ooh! Forgot it was open. Akali, but for Fairy Girl this time.
Okay. Akali is a very fun champion. Fairy Girl has not gotten a chance to play Akali quite yet. In fact, I don't think anyone has gotten to play Akali quite yet in this tournament, as it has been banned almost every single game, and if not, then just kind of forgotten about. But will not be forgotten about here, as J4 will also be the pick of choice here for Fiku. I'm going to go on a limb here and say I think J4 has also been 100% pick or ban today. Apparently in top lane as well.
Honestly, maybe throughout the tournament, Jarvan's been a huge factor in a lot of the drafts, and is generally a good champion. So, seen lots of popularity for Jarvan on this patch in this tournament, at least. But that's a good one too for Astrocats. How are Arcana gonna answer? Because obviously getting priority on this Jax. MP apparently feeling the Vi all day long. This is like MP's 3rd buy game in a row. I think game 1 was Java, and then it's been Vi back to back to back.
I wish my magical stats updated themselves in between games. That would be very helpful, but I only update them after every day. It would be very difficult to update them in between every game.
It would. I'm pretty confident. I think my memory is good enough. Is this Silas going to be the counter pick there for Akali? Ikura says, you know what? If I don't get Akali, I'll at least get her ulti.
I think Silas versus Akali, this might be our first, I'm going to say first melee versus melee mid lane that we've had so far.
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure. So, going to be a very, very scrappy, I would imagine, probably both taking Ignite, potentially. I don't think Akali actually even needs Flash, so could have like an Ignite TP combo potential for that one, unless the meta has changed, just since I remember she needs Flash now. I don't know.
It depends. I remember that being a big top lane thing, but certainly you could do it here in mid lane.
Oh yeah, top lane. Yep.
Ignite's it's a good one. So especially for both for and against the mid lane champions here. Obviously also against Aatrox, but that's not really Ayakura's problem. Ayakura is almost assuredly going to have Flash.
Here.
Which is?
Cassiopeia.
Yeah. Still, it's tricky to pick Cassio here, but
it is. Silas. Ryle's going to play Silas. And then they're going to pick Cassiopeia for Ayakura.
That would be very spicy. That would far and away be the most unique of Ryle's unique picks.
Maybe.
I don't have that one on the bingo card, I'll tell you that much. Braum being banned though. That we did have. Camcom correctly identifying that Braum is a problem and needs to be taken away from Billy Worth.
I'm being informed that the Astrocats actually did not use their 4th ban. That is the empty slot for the ban there. There was no ban for 4th ban.
Confidence or little oopsie.
Or mistake.
It happens. little oopsie. It happens. Gotta be careful.
Can't redo draft on Tournament Realms, so there you go.
I mean, yeah, look, depending on in a lot of circumstances, this happens on stage. I'm sorry. You missed it.
That's what happens.
Unless you got you got by the spaghetti, which does happen, but not as often as you think. That's your own fault. So
unfortunately enough,
gotta get the clerical errors out of the way. Gotta get the nerves off because they're only gonna be higher. You have to think when players are all in person. So a missed ban, but we'll see what happens. Perhaps strategic, unlikely, but we'll see how it plays out. Renata is a ban I can get behind. Renata has been real good in the game she's been played in.
I mean, this is the first time, realistically, right, that the Astrocats' mental has truly been tested.
Yes.
Game 1 and day 1 and day 2, I mean, like, their mental probably was pretty good, especially day 2, they went 4-0, right? But now day 3, they've lost 3 games in a row now. They got the break in the middle to hopefully have an extended VOD review, have an extended lunch break, whatever it was that they wanted.
Hey!
Talk about that in a minute, but I mean, this is the first time that we're truly getting to see the Astrocats' mental maybe even seep into the game a little bit. Maybe the misban was a mistake, and that's gonna cost them mental. Like, mental is a real thing that, like, can't really be quantified, but it is just as much a necessary thing for professional players as is mechanical skill.
Well, in celebration of her release in Legends of Runeterra, Billyworth is playing Jana. Jokes aside, it's really cool to see Billyworth on an enchanter, not Sona, that we may have wanted, or maybe she would have wanted, because she's a big self... Oh my
Enchanter.
God, my brain. She loves enchanters, loves Sona. She said it in an interview herself. That's what I was trying to say. Kai'Sa back again for Ryle, who is going to break that streak and break my heart, because Yone is not currently on the table unless... No, it's not happening. I don't even know. What do we need? Jungle? We need jungle. No, we don't need jungle. We need support. Oh my God, it's enchanter. It's enchanter.
Let's go! I'm sure everybody at home is so excited for this. I'm excited for this. I'm going to look up Billyworth's mastery on Janna. 768,000 mastery points on Janna for Billyworth. Second only being Sona at 400,000. So a whole 300,000 point difference between the Janna and the Sona. And that last selection will be the Vayne. So I was right. I wanted a Vayne this game. Wasn't for Avril though, wasn't for Ryle, in fact, it will be for Avril. Very fun to watch.
Yeah, we saw damage that Ryle could do on Vayne kind of on her own in a lot of cases. This time it's like you have a dedicated enchanter to try and buff up this Vayne come mid to late. So yeah, a little spooky for the enemy team here, as Avril's going to be the big scaling threat on the other side. I do like that teams, and again, like for Astrocats in particular, like, yes, mentally it doesn't feel good to go 0-4 on your final day of competition before finals, but they do have some wiggle room here. They're guaranteed first no matter what the result of the game is. Obviously, Arcana playing for a little bit more seeding-wise, but at the end of the day, all 3 teams are going to be going to LA no matter what the standings end up looking like. So I think there's maybe a little bit of, you know what? This game's maybe slightly lower pressure than the other ones. Let's actually see how enchanters feel, because all of the supports we've talked to have said, like, I love enchanters. I'm an enchanter player. I want to play enchanters. And the meta says, you don't get to play enchanters. So we've kind of like started the line. We've had Braum, we've had Renata, we've had Karma, we've kind of dipped our toes in. This is the game where we're like, okay, we're all in on enchanters.
I'm going to give you a real quick rundown on the Janna and the Lulu stats for this game as a very strong Janna Lulu player myself. So let's start with the Janna. You can cancel the Jax E, and I think... yeah, just Jax E. You can cancel Vi Q, you can cancel Silas W and E, you can cancel Kai'Sa R, and nothing on Lulu. That is the rundown on picking Janna here. Lulu, I think, is just going to be a really strong ultimate for probably majority of the time. Jax would be my guess. Maybe occasionally Vi as well if Emp gets a really good ult. E and W especially is going to be very powerful polymorph onto both Fairy Girl and Faku. But I would guess that polymorph is going to 99% of the time beat onto Fairy Girl. Lulu is probably the best assassin counter that you could possibly pick. And the fact that they got it, I'm very happy about. Lulu is my personal old one trick when I played.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not a support player anymore, but Jana was my most played champion for the first 3 seasons of League of Legends. So, big fan of the champion. Nice
Very
to see her
fun.
back in rotation.
I think you know this, but do you know what my first main champion was?
No.
It was actually Nami.
Nami. Oh, I might have known that.
It was Nami, and then I decided I didn't like support anymore, and I was a Nunu one trick for 3 years.
Oh, I remember the Nunu part. See?
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember that one.
If you had said Nunu, I would have probably said you're correct, but Nami was my first, 100,000 mastery kind of champion.
Oh, nice. All right, well, mid lane will settle in for the melee versus melee, as you said. Kali is, as always, in fact, both these champions kind of You get a lot of counterplay, you get a lot of trading, but you're kind of just waiting to 6 where things get really exciting for you. Akali, especially as the champion, is like not all that exciting until you get access to your ultimate, which really fully unlocks your kit. Sylas is kind of the opposite, where your kit's all there, but you're so reliant on stealing other people's ultis to really get stuff done. So we'll see how it goes. Shuriken Q can be really good for 5-point strike. That's the name of the ability. Can be really good in melee vs melee because it's such a good tool for harassing early. But Sylas is pretty durable in most of these lanes because he's got such decent healing and he clears waves decently. We should be a-okay unless junglers have anything to say about it. And of course, as I say that, here comes Empy. Gotta guess, where are ya? Missed Akali once.
Empy.
Oh,
girl,
little juke.
just gonna be all right. Empy
Oh,
might not
boy.
be as all right. Flash traded. Empy's gonna be the first member to fall. Red buff gifted over to Fiku. I think Fiku did not actually pick up a red buff yet, so that is an actual buff transfer. Ayukura does have flash available, but does not want to have to
Oh,
go to
no!
this early flash of the turret. Traded for Fairy Girl's life as well as her flash. In the end, it is a 1 for 2, but I mean, so well played by Fairy Girl throughout the entire exchange.
Yeah, that was real nice. This Fairy Girl picks up a bunch of early gold. Ayukura gonna TP back, Fairy Girl gonna match, but we'll see how they change the texture of things here.
Yeah,
Again,
replay.
Fairy Girl did such a good job of juking around. Oh, that dip down to miss the Vault Breaker was beautiful, and then Fiku with perfect timing. Easy knock up, easy kill. First one's good. And then watch how quick this combo is on the back end. I don't mind Ayukura going back in, but a little too far forward. The slows are just enough, and as soon as his E lands, it's lights out.
Yeah.
Flash auto, sorry. E, follow, auto, flash out instantly. I've never seen someone flash out from Akali's auto attack animation as quick as that. As Ryle in trouble, the enchanters are out for blood. As Ryle flashing in, tries to find the W, and gets the kill. Lulu, I think turn the tides on that, and Ryle's gonna get 2. My goodness, it's wild.
I heckin' love Lulu. Let's go. Double kill there for Ryle in the bot lane. All of the summoners burned across the map, basically. You look at all these summoners. You got top lane summoners. You got Flash on Lulu. That is quite literally it from the early game. You would have not thought this going in the game. Now you have double cool, by the way, on both the AD carries, and they still were able to win that 2v2. But now you have a Dark Seal on both of the mid laners. I find that quite funny based on how that last 2v2 went.
Yeah, I mean, you know, need your regen. Helps your potions. Maybe gets your stacking. It's not a bad, still a starter item, which is kind of an interesting thing about it, but does help you with some of your laning. As I imagine we'll get a lot of continued fighting here between these two teams. In fact, very even across the board. We've traded a bunch of different kills. I guess bottom lane isn't all that even, given that the 2 kills went one-sided for Arcana. But you mentioned it, Lulu. Pretty fun champion. I feel like Pix was the real winner of that last 2v2.
So true.
I was like, oh, it's totally fine,
You're
and then
spitting facts right now, man.
a million damage happened, and Pix. I was like, oh, I think Pix just exploded someone.
I could not agree with you more. I think when I was playing like a year ago, the Lulu tech was E, Q, W, and then put a second point into E level 4, and people don't expect that massive amount of damage buff on the E.
It's fun.
Also, the Q does a lot of damage, especially if you give it 2 or 3 points in the lane phase, but it is a little bit troll, especially in comp. Wouldn't recommend it. Maybe solo Q, go for it. Aquatic doesn't have a whole lot of mana, does have flash to get away if she wants to commit it, but doesn't look like... I probably agree with her there. Even flashing probably will end up falling, so very nice gank there by Fiku. Getting 1 more kill on the board for the Astrocats.
Yeah, I think a good choice there not to give a summon away. Figu didn't have flash from the mid lane play earlier, so we'll have to hold that thought because it's ulti for ulti here. MP's here as well. There's the first bar to perfect execution, but Fairy Girl can get in there, and Ayakura, in fact, just going to clear the wave, and MP, if nothing else, actually protecting Ayakura there, who got a little bit low in that exchange. Going to go take a recall now.
Take recall now as the first dragon is officially up on Summoner's Rift. It is a mountain dragon, so unfortunately won't be another Mountain Soul. I feel like Mountain Soul had pretty big impact in at least one of our games today, so at least worthy to shout that one out. First dragon picked up for Arcana. They are sitting, you know, about 500 gold behind Astrocats. Very early in the game, 500 gold means absolutely nothing, so pretty much a dead even game other than that first dragon.
Yeah, it's just where the gold is concentrated that's kind of interesting, I suppose. Fiku off to the early lead, and Ryle off to the early lead on Arcana side. With the mid lane, it's kind of both getting a little bit to start things off. So I feel like the pace that's been set is indicative of the kind of mid game we're going to have. I'm expecting a lot of fighting between these two teams, which I feel like with the bottom lane setups we have, and again, how bottom lane centric a lot of the games have been, I feel like one enchant is going to start to run away with it if the game gets too out of hand. So you certainly got to keep it close as Avril's trying to fight Shirley here. But there is a jungler that we know about. Oh my goodness, there's the Silas here too.
Also a mid laner that we may also know about here as well. Ayukura sitting level 7, doesn't have an ultimate stored quite yet. I would assume probably looking to steal away that Jan, ult dashing in, not quite in range to land any CC, but either way they do get that ghost out from Avril.
Yeah, nice respect actually shown there. Good patience, good discipline from Avril and Billyworth, making sure that they weren't overextending to a potential gank. Obviously, Fairy Girl's calling mid missing, and they don't know where the jungler is, so just kind of using the information they had to assess, you know what, we shouldn't be playing aggressively here, even though I'm sure they wanted to, given how close the 2v2 ended up being that started us off earlier. As Fairy Girl has that alternator doing a little bit of burst damage, but Ayakura feeling decent on the burst damage right now. Can't steal Akali's ult for a little while longer. I know it's not displayed, unfortunately, anymore in Spectator mode, but as a reminder, Silas has a bunch of different cooldowns related to his ulti. One of them is, when was the last time you stole an ultimate? And the cooldown of his hijack is much less than the cooldown you can re-hijack the same ultimate, obviously going down as the game goes later. We'll hold that for now, though, because Fiku's trying to get this, but it's now just going to be a flip. Open up at McDonald's. It's time to burger flip. There's the steal out of MP. And Fiku maybe going to get away to tell the tale. Never mind. Denting blows. Shut down as well. That's gold for MP that they'll be very happy to have as Fairy Girl diving on into Shirley. Shirley, such an easy target for the assassins.
Every time.
But the exhaust is there. They're juking around, and Fairy Girl has to get out of there. Pops the ulti number 2 to get back to safety.
Exhaust plus Polymorph is a 5-second disable onto Assassins. Like, it's absolutely massive. It's 2.5 plus, I believe, 2.5 at this point in the game, right? So there is just nothing Fairy Girl can do about that. I find it so funny that MP and Ayukura flashed over the wall. Obviously, like, 1 second of communication, like, I'm gonna flash, right? Like, may have saved one of their flashes, but either way, that's just a mental diff at this point, right? Like, Astrocats, the mental is only scaling to get harder at this point.
As someone that enjoys playing Assassins in mid very much, I have to say that is very cringe. What you're explaining there is Ayakura. Oh, the bait has been taken, but Silas is fighting out of there. Unchained! The polymorph's there as well. It's Shirley again to save the day, and Ayakura gets the kill. As of course the AD carries are finding a bit vain. Should be better in this spot, but Ryle, so good. Oh, that condemn! Absolutely sick, nasty, and it's a 1-for-1!
All right, everyone, I hope you're listening right now when we are in the studio next week and somebody picks Lulu and is popping off this hard on the Lulu. I gotta hear some Lulu chants from the crowd, man. Like, come on. This Lulu is smurfing out of her mind right now. This AD carry 1v1, I mean, it's just so well played by both of them. You gotta see the Avril, like, playing with vision for just a second and the flash from her as well. The final auto attack from the grave from Ryle as well. I mean, that's a challenger versus challenger to carry 1v1 if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely. His top lane looks like there's a bit more trouble. Marina going to pop the ulti and stay safe. Once again, opening up a pretty nice lead for herself on this Aatrox. Has been consistently good at that on both Aatrox and Ornn. But Cortex Jax, as we saw, pretty good when it comes to these skirmishes. So not too worried about the CS differential just yet. As a face check. Oh, and there's the Janna ulti. A little bit of a wind sec there from the Janna, as Shirley's going to be put back towards the enemy team. But here comes the dive. Fairy Girl jumping on in. Elan should be a free kill. Wild Growth's not going to save you, but the stopwatch certainly will. Shirley has them in the palm of her hand. Lulu going off, and Shirley outplays everyone.
I literally can call out the exact, like, spells as she casts them.
Well, I'm going to need you to do the next Lulu team fight then, because if this keeps happening, I'm not going to have a voice left by the end of this game.
Oh my gosh, she has an 11-minute Shirley. It's just over. It's so good.
Oh, Ryle.
Oh, Ryle puts them in the grave,
It's two.
man.
It's two.
Let them live.
I mean, this is the Arcana we saw kind of opening their Game Changers campaign, if you remember. It was Ryle and Shirley going absolutely bananas, opening up a huge lead. I think that was maybe the Twitch game, actually. Rile's
Yeah,
first
the
game.
Twitch game was their opener. The Twitch game was an insane opener, by the way, and this is an insane game to close out, I don't know, regular season exhibition matches, whatever you want to call this, right?
First stage of the
super
tournament, I don't know.
Super entertaining to see from them, as we do get a Chemtech Soul. I believe the first Chemtech Soul of the day is our final soul for the day. 2-0 on the Dragons so far. About a 2,000 gold lead has spawned now for Arcana. Originally it was quite literally dead even on gold, and all of a sudden got about 2,000 for Arcana.
Oh, Aquatic is so dead here. Wait, actually, no. The Savior, it's again Shirley.
You
Lulu just keeps on roaming up. Wild Growth Poke. I mean, I saw a Jax 2 levels down against an Aatrox with the enemy jungler on my screen. I was very concerned.
I saw Lulu. Nobody's dying if Shirley's there.
I think Avril's dead. Oh, not fast enough.
Avril did burn the ghost there to keep herself alive for that one. Shirley showing herself here in mid lane. Ayukura does have the exhaust burned onto her for now, but she's just diving all around with that perfect execution as well. Buys so much extra space and time for MP to now arrive and help out in the fight as well. Girl very caught out with that polymorph as well. In fact, it's Fiku the one that's caught out. Double TP now coming in, stunned onto the wall. Lulu might be caught out for the first time this game. Avril picked up the first kill on to Shirley. Just like that, it's all these summoner spells thrown right. That was a double TP, and it's just a 1-for-1.
Yeah, it's starting to get chaotic. I feel like Astrocats feel like they're a little bit behind in this game and don't want to go down lightly, so they are brawling here in the center of Summoner's Rift. Ayakura gonna catch a recall. Yep, interrupted, but there is more coming. Fairy Girl back on in. Shuriken Flipperino. Not dead just yet. Ayakura gonna be A-okay.
A little unfortunate there that Ayukura did have to burn her flash for that. I don't think burning your flash to cancel it back is worth it. But you know what? It is all for the mental here. 2,000 gold ahead still for the Arcana squad. You got another dragon in about 3 minutes, and Herald, Shelly number 2 here in just under 60 seconds.
I can tell you where the gold lead went, because Ryle has 2 completed items. Collector is done. Yeah.
7,000 to 4,500, 4,700.
2,500 gold done. I believe Avril just finished her first item, given that I saw a bunch of gold tick down. But yeah, Static Shiv versus Kraken Slayer Collector. Welcome to the game. Thanks for playing.
Look, I can cast the Lulu all day. I'm having a fantastic time right now.
I'm glad if I didn't get you and I bought you got Lulu.
Imagine if I got a Bard, though. That would just make this whole day perfect. Somebody please pick Bardo next week. It's not... Yeah, next week. We're out of time today.
I know, This is the final draft of the day, but not the final draft of Game Changers. LCS Game Changers, I might add. 2023 is MP roaming around the top of the lane. Maramina in trouble, but gonna be fine. Has some teammates behind her. As Aquatic gonna try and finish it off, because MP's gonna go ahead and drop the base, or at least the Rift Herald. No, not gonna use it just yet. Gonna hold that for maybe another tower here. Aquatic should have enough damage there with that pressure.
First turret.
Take it down herself. Yeah, that's a good amount of gold given over to that Jax.
Top lane has been by far and away, you can tell by the KDAs, the quietest of the lane for this game. So Aquatic being the Jax, definitely the more scaling member of this matchup here. We'll be very happy to have a little bit of extra gold, completing the full boots with that gold in her pocket as well. Literally dead even with Mermina.
It's time to fight. I steal your ulti, level 11 for Fairy here. The Everfrost. Oh, I don't know how Fairy got out of there. But Lulu is causing problems. There are so many slows from like Little Lances. Fiku goes on back in. No poly just yet. Shuriken Flipperoonie. Oh, Ayakura going big. The Wild Growth real nice. As Camcom points out, and Shirley's still fighting. Look, frontline time. We're going to poly off the assassin, keep on going. Now here's reinforcements. MP charging off as Ryle's around the side. MP looking to get it in. Killer Instinct in, gets exhausted. But again, still fighting it out. And Ryle is unstoppable. That is absolutely gross, man. Make it a triple. It's the third for Ayakura, but 3 kills nonetheless for Arcana.
Beautifully done there by Shirley and the rest of Arcana. So well played yet again, so we get to see a replay of what they thought was a 1v1 in the bot lane, and then very much did not turn out to be what was their 1v1 that they wanted.
Lulu mechanics on display. Tell me what's happening here, Cam.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, the E into the Q really slowed down Fairy Girl. Right now, Shirley's actually waiting for the polymorph to come back up. If the Wild Growth should ideally be held for E2 from the Akali back in. That would have been perfect timing, but it's still perfectly fine. Wild Growth right there as well would have gotten a triple knockup, but just didn't have the premonition to know that there was about to be a massive team fight right here, right? Anyways, beautifully done there by Shirley. And you see, just using the mana perfectly. Ran out of mana at the very end of the team fight. That's hard to do.
That is hard to do. As Dragon number 3 goes over the first of the Chemtech Dragons, but the third overall. That means that Soul is in sight for Arcana very swiftly, I might add as well. This game is getting rapidly out of control. Almost 6,000 gold ahead for Arcana in this game, and on the verge of making Astrocats not win a single game on the final day
So
of Game Changers before we all go to LA. It is, especially because this is still our #1 seed.
It is!
So a lot of things going to be called into question if there is yet another sweep for Arcana. And again, I think it sets us up for an absolutely beautiful time in LA, because these three teams are going to come in with another week to prepare. Well, most of a week. They got some stuff to do before. They got to fly in and travel and do some other stuff. But it'll be great fun. They'll enjoy themselves. But before that one day of finals, they got a lot of work to do. And there's going to be so much that these teams can look to. And I'm expecting two very close best of threes as a result.
Oh, I didn't know the last one could do that. That's not okay.
It's the souped up one, right?
I guess so. I don't like that. Let me talk, please. Don't fight. Okay, thank you very much. Serenity out. Oh, nope, never mind. Avril. Bye-bye, Avril. Oh my gosh, Riley even flashed for it? Ryle has gone godlike here in mid lane. MP as well will not be letting Billyworth walk around for free in her own jungle. But anyway, I want to talk about how specifically Serenity you saw in Game 1 and Game 2 today against Astrocats, right? I was kind of memeing about how Serenity looked like an entirely different team. They looked like they had improved so much, like exponentially, from Week 1 and Week 2 to today, Week 3. I would love to see that same level of improvement from Arcana and Astrocats moving into the LAN for next week here as well. Astrocats may have gone into today having their standings technically locked. It's definitely locked. It was definitely locked after the second series, but going into today, they knew that unless they dropped all 4 games and there was some weird thing happening, then they would most likely be ending up first place. And even if they do drop 4 games, they're still actually going to be ending up for first place. Goodness.
Yeah, had a little help from the other teams. You know, not everybody beat everybody else in the way that they would have needed to have it go.
Yes.
Have to go super spicy. And as a reminder, Arcana are also playing for second themselves here. As Ayakura looking for the 1v1 Everfrost land. In we go. We're not quite Akali, but we'll do a decent impression. And there are teammates on the way. Muramina is going to have to flash, and that is going to be enough to get her to safety for now. But as we've seen, Arcana are very keen to stop fights.
Absolutely, and Arcana equally are very keen, like you said, to secure second place for themselves. They need this game, the very last game of the exhibition matches, to secure second place. If they lose this, they will fall to third due to the tiebreaker rules. Chickens over the wall, just by able to keep Fiku alive. Baron is now up on the table. I'm probably betting Arcana's going to be starting here very shortly.
And indeed, you would be correct. There's no TP actually for Aquatic, but there's also no TP for Ferrigal. So that's the current side lane matchup there in bot. It is going to be a 4v4 if there's even a contest, but the work has been done to take over this jungle, to take away the vision, and Arcana are going to get an uncontested Baron by the looks of things. Piku's got one last chance, and is he going to be there in time? Didn't really have vision anyway. There was one blue trinket that got a spot in, but that vision got wiped away with the control ward they had placed, and Arcana with a very clean objective take that they earn after taking over the enemy jungle and putting themselves in this position. They are so close to securing second here.
So close to not only securing second, but securing also their first 2-0 against Astrocats. Previously to this week, the only team that had taken a single win off of Astrocats was Arcana, going 1-1 previously with them. I believe it was in week 1 that they did that. So, you know, it's going to be a first for all 3 teams here today if Arcana do end up taking this win home.
Nice to know that we're going to have 3 teams at the peak of their power, it seems like. Which, again, what, shouts to coaches. That's you timing your peak well. We hear it a lot from LCS players and from people in lots of different sports where, you got to peak at the right time because that's how, finals and playoffs, etc. work. And right now, it seems like all three teams know what's up as Fairy is going to be mobbed. But
Wow.
that is very, very nice looking escape. Unfortunately, MP's still in range. Oh, boy. Feels bad, man. It feels bad, man. Ayakura with the dunk from the stolen Jarvan ulti. Ryle is absolutely popping people left and right. Jarvan gonna go back in, which is ill-advised. That is a one-way trip, friends. Muramina gonna go down as well. Grabs a double kill. And that may be all she wrote for this one.
This is 22 minutes right now, Pastry. What is happening on my screen? Previously, we broke the 24-minute fastest win time in game 1 today of Serenity versus Astrocats. Now game number 6 today, Arcana versus Astrocats. They're at 23 minutes right now, and one more team fight, almost one more push of a wave could just end this game right here as we do get a replay of that last
Seems to be
team fight,
something
maybe.
in the cereal as Fairy finds an angle out, but MP is playing Vi, and John is not enough to save the day. Exhaust, not a deterrent enough for Ryle, even though she gets condemned by the Vayne. And Ayakura with the stolen ulti is about to click on anyone in range, finds Avril of all people as the first target, happily tanking Vayne for a pretty long time, and then Jarvan goes back in, but Fiku knows that there's not much they could really find there. Does go down as Ryle picks off the other frontliner. As Astrocats try to find something, wasn't a lot they could look for. They're down almost 10,000 gold at this juncture. All right, Fairy, if you get out of this one, I'll get you a cookie.
I will buy you ice cream in LA if you make it out of this one. Okay.
I didn't think
nope,
so.
I'm sorry. Anyways, a quick shout out to Ryle right here. She's in 13-1-2 with 10 CS submitted at 23 minutes with 238 CS. Very nicely done there.
That's pretty good. Ayakura also having a great day. It's funny, the non-Orianna champions have been maybe more impressive, and Ayakura's very impressive Orianna. As we got trouble, Ryle going off. Absolutely legendary. Looking for the Penta perhaps here. Is that the angle Muramina going to go down? And that is 3. But someone else got another kill, it looks like, because Fika's the only one left alive, but there's 4 people already dead.
4 people are dead. 1 inhibitor already dead here as well. They're making their way on the Nexus turrets, and with 15 seconds left on some of these members, I mean, there is nothing that Astrocats will do. They will fall 0-4 on the day. Arcana with the first 2-0 against Astrocats, locking their second seed for next week's LAN.
16-1-2. As Ryle puts her stamp on the end of the round robin. Kind of finishing how she started it, not on the same champion. In fact, the champion she took 10 games to actually play for the first time in Kai'Sa. But it started with Twitch, and it's going to end here with Kai'Sa and the squad being, in some ways, very different, but in many ways, very similar to how they started off. Arcana playing as fast as they could basically push themselves, and it's working a treat today, at least.
I didn't catch the final endgame time, but I believe it was a 24-minute win, so barring the win earlier today, that would have also been up there for fastest wins of the split. I don't know, season, whatever you want to call it. First 3 weeks.
It was quick out of 10. I didn't catch the time, but it was definitely at least quick out of 10.
Yep, they did it.
They certainly did do it. Very speedy. As Astrocats going to have to collect themselves here. I mean, God given a call, God given LeBlanc, Verigo looking good individually on these games. Avril still looking good, was, for me, maybe one of the standouts of week 2 in particular, but we go to Enchanters, we try a bunch of different things. Muramina's still performing on the Aatrox, and it's just like, it just feels like everything Astrocats threw at the wall today did not stick, so got some time to regroup, gonna have to do so. We'll be together, at least in person, for a part of that week preparation, but I don't know, it's gonna make for an impossible to predict final day, which I think is maybe the perfect way we could have ended Game Changers here. We have one Saturday left now.
Oh no. I'm still so excited for next week. By the way, if you want to come watch us next week live in person, once again, you can do some exclamation point tickets
playable
in the Twitch chat. Free tickets to the LCS studio if you would like to come watch the Game Changers semifinals and finals live. I will be there casting. Jolly will be there casting. Pastry will be out ditching us. Unlucky.
Let's do it like that. All right, fair enough.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. I wish I could be there. I'll be there in spirit.
That's true.
In fact,
we'll have a little little picture frame of you and give you like a fake little microphone.
I can tell you at least a lot of things you'll have. I'll be talking to every single player on every single team before I
Yay!
go away for the weekend. So you might get my voice in an interview clip. How about that? My disembodied voice floating in from behind the camera as I get some info out of these players and get to know them a little bit better. Hopefully showcase some of their stories and some of their thoughts on gameplay. Should be a lot of fun. I'm so excited for the players to go through what we have for them here. I think they're excited to play. They're excited to play on the stage, and I think they absolutely should be. It's going to be an amazing experience. But Riot's really trying to give them as like bespoke and as LCS an experience as we can, and I'm excited for them to go through it all. I think we've seen the players evolve and change and improve so quickly over the course of the 3 weeks of round robin we already have. I think that will just compound when they're all together on land, in a studio at big stakes. I mean, that's the beauty of competition. In high pressure moments, you get to see exactly what people are made out of, and more often than not, competitors almost always rise to the occasion. And I can tell you, I've watched 18 games of League of Legends now here for Game Changers 2023 for the LCS. These are some damn good competitors.
Absolutely. I don't know if we have the exact standings available. I'm going to try to do some quick maths in my head right now, but I believe it is Astrocats first place 7-5, Arcana second to place 6-6, and I think it's 5-6, and Serenity is also 5. Nope, I can't do it. I just know Astrocats is first place, Arcana is second place, Serenity is third place.
We'll take a look at some point.
We'll get the standings up for you at some point, but that is the order that they are in. I just do not have the exact game score for you with that one. We are waiting for an interview. I believe we are actually ready for the interview, so we will be interviewing with Billy, I hear, with Ashley K.
Hey guys, thank you for this row. I'm joined by Billy with the support of the support of Astrocats after they do have a 0-4 day coming into week three of Game Changers. Hey Billy, it wasn't the greatest day, but you do still progress to the finals weekend as the first place team. How are you feeling right now?
Not the best because we did go 0-4, but I do have faith in our team to make a comeback, and we are still first place, so we have a lot of time to practice. Yeah,
like, what's your overall feedback, or what kind of feedbacks did the team make after the series of games that Astrocats had today?
Yeah, I think like emotional state does do like a lot when it comes to performance, so I think going into playing at LA, we'll have to make sure we're all like on the same page, doing well emotionally, and ready to give it our all.
Yeah, and also one cool thing about today was that the other teams such as Arcana and Serenity did look very impressive today, and we have very, very competitive teams going into the finals. And obviously you played against those teams before, but in your opinion, in what noticeable ways did Arcana and Serenity step up today?
Yeah, I think the other teams are playing really well today, especially a few people that stand out is like Yumichi was really playing well, and Miss Timo, especially on Oriana, was really giving us a run for our money. So it wasn't horrible to lose, in my opinion, because I really do love a lot of these players, especially Yumichi. We're close friends, so I think she did really, really well today, and a lot of people are showing vast improvement.
Okay, because I did ask Miss Timo earlier, hey, what is like the specific playstyle of the different teams? Because you also noticed that all the players and teams are improving so much coming into today. What would you say are the distinctive playstyles of Arcana and Serenity and Astrocats?
I'm not sure exactly, but I think Arcana definitely does play a more aggressive style, and our team definitely plays a more like scaling style. For Serenity, I feel like they're pretty well-rounded, and they do a really good job of playing as a team and team fighting.
And you mentioned that you're friends with quite a few players, including the other players on the other teams. How excited are you to have like a live person event in LA next week?
I'm definitely nervous. I like never fly, so I'm really nervous, but I'm super excited to meet people like Levy, Fairy Girl, or I just said the same person twice. Levy, Avril, Emily, Yumichi, etc. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool people that I'd love to meet.
What's like the one thing you're most looking forward to? Like you mentioned, getting to meet all the, as well as new players, getting to play on the LCS studio in person, getting to interact with fans, or maybe the idea of going to LA or flying for the first time. I don't know, there could be so many different things. I'm excited to meet you.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a lot of things. We're gonna have our jerseys, which are really cool. We're gonna have good food while we're there. There's a lot of really awesome aspects, but also playing on stage is obviously like something I'm super excited for.
And like, because I'm like an interviewer, I have to do this. You'll be going directly to the finals, and you'll be get to watch the second to third placement match, right? Who do you think is going to make the finals?
Oh my god!
I have to do it.
I don't want to pick a side. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I can decide. I love a lot of the people on both of the teams, so I don't think I'm gonna choose.
Oh, like
sorry. Both teams are looking really
okay.
strong going into the finals. So yeah, if it could be a perfect world, both of them would win.
Oh my god! If all three teams win. And what would it mean for you if Astrocats is able to rebound from today and claim the Game Changers trophy?
I think it's very possible. I think it will require a lot of putting aside each other's differences and really like getting on the same page, which can be difficult, especially in a game as difficult as League. Like, it's really common to just focus on what we need to do, but at the end of the day, it is a team game. So yeah, I think we can win, and I think that would be awesome and really show like how much we've put into all of this and have our work pay off.
And because that was one of the things that I was going to ask, what is like the one biggest thing that you or Astrocat is going to work on going into the finals weekend? So it sounds like maybe it's just like, the teamwork stuff, being on the same page, that kind of stuff. Maybe, perhaps?
Definitely looking to like be there for each other and build more trust and communication between players. I think that's definitely the key to success for our team.
We'll definitely be looking forward to it. And this is my final question, Billy. Next time we see you, it will definitely be at the LCS studio, and I am very excited for it, and many viewers watching out there will be excited for that opportunity too. Do you have any messages to your followers as well as the new followers that you gained throughout this Game Changers journey that you'll soon to get to meet in person, or through broadcast camera, of course, LLA?
Yeah. I'd just like to say thank you to all the people that have supported me along the way, like my online friends, and then also I've made a bunch of friends like in college, because it's my first year at college. I'm in my dorm, obviously. So my friends that I've made through school that are watching right now, that's so awesome. And then my online friends that I've known for so long, and then also everyone in Game Changers and on my team who's been working really hard to accommodate for everyone's needs and stuff.
That's so lovely. Thank you so much, Billy. And once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay. You too. And I'll see you casters next week. Thank you.
Welcome back. What a beautiful, once again, a wholesome interview from Billy Worth and beautiful Ashley Kang. Thank you so much for the, I guess, 9th and final interview of the regular season of the exhibition matches.
Jeez.
That's it. We'll see you next week in LA now.
Certainly will. Before we get there, though, have a look at where the teams are up to. As we said, Astrocats, despite
I was so close.
offering it today, which is not what we thought was going to happen, still on top 7 and 4. 6 and 6 for Arcana, getting close, but not close enough. And Serenity, 5 and 7. Will be our third seed. As a reminder, all 3 teams will be traveling to LA this coming week to play on Saturday. That's next Saturday. That's a week from today to play more League of Legends. Our final day of League of Legends. Our finals day, in fact, of League of Legends for LCS Game Changers 2023. Should be a banger. You can follow the teams if you want, and honestly, you absolutely should. Much like the tickets we've been giving away, it's free. You can type exclamation mark tickets in the chat if you want to know, because I don't know what happens if you type in tickets or are not online, and you're probably not going to remember if you don't do it now. So if you want to get your tickets and you're listening to this, you should type the thing in and get the tickets. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't even know if there's tickets still available. They might or might not have already gone away. So if they're not all already gone, then absolutely you should claim your tickets now before they all disappear as the final match of the weekend. I mean, that's it. That's the exhibition matches next weekend. LCS Studio for all of us. I'm still so excited. Like it's still not real.
Oh, it'll be real. You don't have to worry about that. You are ready. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not.
Here you are. As you can see, tune in next Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, live from LA, from the LCS studio for Game Changes, LCS Game Changes LAN. It's going to be an absolute banger. Arcana and Serenity are going to battle to determine who gets to face Astrocats, who again, still on top, get to go through to the grand finals nice and early, as all teams will be coming through LA, getting prepared, getting settled, and getting ready for probably one of the biggest events of their lives. Certainly one of the coolest, if nothing else. I know there's a mix of experience and younger players on all of these teams, but it should be a treat. I believe this is the first time we've ever done an event like this for Game Changers specifically, and I'm just so glad we could keep scaling it up to something bigger and better.
Absolutely. But, I mean, that's all we've got for us today. We've got 2 best of 3s for you here. Same time, same place next week, except instead of being remote, of course, we will be in the LA LCS studio. Thank you all so much for making the stream happen. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Pastry, for casting with me. Thank you, Ashley, of course, for doing the interviews behind the scenes. Everyone else that has made the stream happen, thank you so much. We will see you all next week here once again for some more LCS Game Changers.